Previously on X-Men.
I saw this making its round. That despite what people are saying, that, hey, it's not so bad. Maybe there's others that are a little divisive on that. But a lot of folks are out there saying that X-Men 97 is okay. Some are even calling it great.
To me, my X-Men.
What good does that do you if this is the result? X-Men 97 now worst performing Marvel series on Disney Plus. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to get people to understand that it's not good enough. Just having people like your stuff when you're sinking so much money into it. And definitely in their case, they're putting it in a place that is a money pit. Everything right now going to Disney Plus because they have not yet found a way to make that thing profitable is a loss. Everything. It's not good enough. I do think there's things that smaller entities that are going to be successful should learn from this. One, rein in your budgets. Obviously, that's a big part of it, a massive part of it. But understand that you don't need even to have a lot of like people that like in the tens of millions, let's say, throwing that out. That's a crazy big number, right, of viewers to be a successful brand or company or production. It's just a matter of what you're spending, obviously, and who you are selling this to. Okay. I do believe that, yeah, you have to pay attention to your customers. You want to give them more of what they like, more of what they want. It has to be within reason, obviously, because the economics of it all have to make sense. You got to be getting a return for sure. But I do also think that there's two things that happened. One, you had, obviously, 2016 happened. A guy became president. Everybody went fucking crazy in the entertainment industry.
It's not politics to say you're not a Nazi!
Then you had the COVID thing, which just accelerated everything.
The vaccine.
You had a bunch of people at home. A lot of people tricked themselves into believing they were a lot more popular than what they were. But as people started to go back to work when the government allowed them to, the criminals that they are, and stop fear-mongering, or people were over this charade, you started to realize that maybe you were just a benefit of the times, and there's not people actually enthusiastic about your project, okay? So both of those instances, and the reason I brought up the 2016 thing is because people now from that are paying they're paying more attention to where their dollar's going, who they're giving it to, and why wouldn't they? They got burned in the past. Nobody wants to be just giving money to people and supporting their projects. Some people will hold their nose, and I'm not saying that you have to agree with everything a creator says, but it's one thing to be like, yeah, I disagree with you politically, and another to be like, hey, well, you are akin to the funny mustache guy because you voted in a particular way. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Like, that's what they did, right? That's a little different from, hey, you and I don't see eye to eye politically, or you and I disagree on even a major topic. See, those are completely different things. So people are paying a lot more attention to who they're giving their money to. They're more aware. And in that 2020, going to 2020, where you had all these creators, a flood of independent creatives that have come to find out that, hey, I could produce and I can get a following, and I don't necessarily need to be attached to the mainstream, and a lot of people are willing to pay for that stuff, and I could sustain it. I could grow the company. Rippaverse is an example of that. Though it was obviously after 2020 and the sum of love and everything crazy that happened there. It still is an example of a success that's out there. There are many others. There's plenty of other people, publishers, and you see what's happening in independent games right now. A lot of people in the independent scene are doing great things and realizing, well, maybe I don't have to be attached to the mainstream. But the key, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. The key is that you have to sell something else. Not just, I get it, man. There was once upon a time, maybe you were under the impression that, hey, I can just be the best at what I do, present it to people, and then they're going to buy it. You have a lot to learn, my friend, especially now. People want to know who they're giving their money to. You got to be a little more personable, or at least have people that are a part of your team. And you got to sell them on like on the quality aspect of what you're producing, but also selling them on a future investment. Because when you're a newbie, you don't have the benefit of, like in my case, of Marvel or DC, 70 years of growth, of character development, of notable, more than 70 years in like DC's case, just characters that have been around. So the people have grown up with them. They translate to plenty of different generations across country lines and cultures like this. Even though it is like a Batman or a Superman, they're part of the American culture, and everybody recognizes that. You don't have that benefit of being a newbie. So just, hey, here's my thing, please buy, not good enough. You got to sell them on it. But the thing is, if you can't tap into the market and sell them on what you're creating, the quality of what you're creating, and what you're trying to do in the future, bro, you can make it. Now is no better time. But do not be under the impression that, well, like in my case, I have to sell 1 million comics to be successful. No, you don't. You don't have to do that. Or you have to make $500 million to have a successful film. No, you don't. You don't have to, you can do a fraction of that and still be wildly profitable and grow your business. It's going to look different, and people just need to be ready for that. Thanks for watching. Right now, the Rippaverse is in the middle of our latest campaign, Yaira #1, which was written by the Saskas. Head over to Rippaverse.com, pre-order, and check out our first live-action trailer and the latest Rippaverse Studios production, Y'all Be Easy.